If you have never made $1 million pound cake, then now is the time because this pound cake, it's gonna rock your world. It's so quick and easy, and look at that texture, y'all. Yeah, it ain't playing. Let's go. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is add our butter into a bowl. We're gonna mix this butter up until it is nice and creamy and smooth. My butter was room temperature, so here's how it looked when it's all mixed up. That is perfect. Now we're gonna set my timer for 3 minutes, all right? 3 minutes, and we're gonna add our sugar a little bit at a time, and we're gonna mix this up, and we're gonna keep that mixer on low speed. That is the ticket. 3 minutes on low speed, and you will have perfectly creamed butter and sugar without over mixing, because sometimes when you make a pound cake and you over mix that butter and that sugar too much, you'll have those little gluey streaks that nobody likes though. You can still eat it, but who wants the gluey streaks, you know? Okay, that looks great. Now we can move on to our eggs. I'm gonna dump my eggs in here one at a time. Okay, we're gonna mix after each egg. You're gonna mix it up on low just until those eggs are mixed up. You don't wanna overdo it. Even though this pound cake does not have any leavening in it, no salt, baking powder, baking soda, you still don't want to over mix it. So once those eggs are all mixed in, we're going to move on to our extracts. These guys right here, you can just use plain vanilla, but I like to kind of switch it up, you know, throw in some almond extract, lemon, coconut, all that good stuff. And oh, I should not be pouring this over the bowl like this, but you know, some people, honey, they never learn. Okay, go ahead and mix in those extracts. And those extracts are just going to kind of bump up the flavor. It's not going to like overpower it, you know. Okay, so now we're going to add our flour a little bit at a time, and we're going to alternate it with our milk. So I add in a little bit of flour, mix it up, a little bit of milk, and then just kind of repeat that process until I have all of my flour and milk mixed in and the batter is nice and fluffy like this right here. Oh yes, that is perfect pound cake batter. I can always tell by the batter how it's going to turn out. Okay, so now we're just going to plop this batter into our greased and floured pan here. I'm trying to plop it around evenly. Okay, just like that. Give it a little shake to kind of level out the top, and then kind of pop it on the counter just to kind of get those air bubbles out. We're going to bake it 125 for about an hour, 25 minutes or so. Place it on a cooling rack to cool off, and once that pan is cool enough to touch, you can go ahead and just turn it over and flip it out of the pan very, very carefully. If you have greased and floured your pan, you should have no problem with it coming out. Once it cool off completely, you can go ahead and level off the bottom so that it's not as, you know, it can sit a little bit flatter. And now you can glaze it if you want to. I'll include this glaze recipe on my blog. It's a very, very simple pound cake glaze with the extracts that I use for the cake. I put them in the glaze. Okay, so that is it. Let's just get to the main part, honey, the part that I have been waiting on, and that is the taste and the texture. And y'all, it did not disappoint at all. I absolutely love this cake, from the texture to the taste. It just, everything just went together so well. You can add some fruit, some whipped cream, some sauce, or just eat it plain. Like, it tastes so good plain, just like this. But that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You can get the full recipe at divascancooks.com. Later.